Hey guys, just thought I'd do a quick video, and this is on the Cowry X blades. I took my one and sharpened it. I did it by hand completely, so there's no chance of it being overheated from that. Very thin. I made the edge as flat as my old eyes could do it. If we fire up the mic here in thousandths, right behind the edge. Let's see what's going to be the best way for you guys to see this. That looks like you can see it there. That's up 1/4 of an inch. It's 0.03. If we come down a little further, it's 0.02, and that's maybe 1/8 to 1/16 of an inch. Right down on the edge right now, it is 0.01. If I go up to 5 thousandths, hang on a second, guys. Let me go to 5, and I'll lock it down here. Alright, that's 5. There's 5 thousandths, about not quite 1/3 of the way up there, and pretty consistent. And even more out by the tip. Let me make sure it didn't move now. Way up by the very tip, you can see it's pretty thin. It cuts extremely good. It takes a very smooth edge. It is extremely hard, George. We did hit the hardness, no question about it. Because the edge was so thin when I did the brass rod test, it would chip a little bit right down in here. And what I did, I still wanted that cutting performance, so rather than thicken the whole edge, I took the chipping out, and it was very small. You could feel it with your finger. You could just barely see it with the naked eye. I put a micro bevel on it instead. It would not. Now that was with the brass rod. Pretty good hard, push across it. It hasn't shown any propensity to chip doing cutting. I've cut, I didn't have a lot here to try it on, but I jammed it into wood as hard as I could. It'll really bite too. And it cut paracord and cardboard, and of course the telephone paper here. I took it from, I started with a 600 grit edge, just kind of messing around here. Boy, this is harder to do behind the camera. But it's just, you can't even hardly feel that cut through there. It just, no resistance whatsoever. Once you get it in, and like I say, it's hard to do back here. I'm trying to it will push cut when I can do my part, and it slicing or draw cuts, it doesn't really good job. even though I took it from about a 600 grit finish right down to right now it's very, very highly polished edge. You could run your fingers along it like this. If you put any pressure on that, you're going to cut into yourself, but the edge is smooth enough that you can do that without cutting into yourself. But that doesn't seem to have translate. You know, a lot of times that will translate into it not doing draw cuts and things well. Hang on one second. Let me get an old tomato here. Let's just try that. And we can see if it slides on this. This tomato's past its prime anyway. On a draw cut, ooh, it cuts pretty nice. Now there is a slight, if I don't put, well, I don't know. I'm not putting any pressure, and that thing, it does bite in. Let's see, part of this rotten is rotten, so I'm working around it. Push cut, I doubt. No, it will only push cut if I pull a little bit to give it a start. On slicing cuts, even that very smooth edge, though, it really, boy, it'll whack in. Let me get rid of this. This thing is pretty cruddy. Hang on. And Cliff, we were shooting for an extremely high Rockwell. We went to the top of the heat treat, as you know, and I think we pretty well hit that. I think we're on a Norton 600 stone. It is just about skating across there. It will cut into it, but you can, you know how that is. You can feel it's just very, very hard. I like it like this. I think on mine I'm not going to do anything with it. My question is, could that be annealed at a different temperature? Yours hasn't been sharpened yet. It's just like it was. I'm going to leave this one, but I don't know if it can be annealed to change, you know, to bring the hardness down like 1 point. If you want it as hard as this one, these were made right from the start as slicers. They're not made to, and were never intended, at least my intention and what I got from you is they were never meant to take, you know, lateral force twisting or anything like that. They're cutting knives. I think that from doing a little bit of limited testing in wood, and very limited, believe me, just a few cuts, we'd have to do a lot more to see. But I think that on a normal cut with just what little bit of normal twisting you would do, I don't think it would pop the edge or anything like that. I think if you really jammed it in there you would, but I don't think it's going to do it under normal circumstances. I think for a slicing tool, what it was made for, I think it would work good. I will probably back off and leave this at about a 800 to 1200 grit finish is what I'm going to end up with on this one, and that's probably what I'll ship yours with. I think that that's the best balance of aggressive slicing, you know, cutting ability and long-lasting edge. I'm pretty happy with it, considering we did all this, you know, just by eyeball, and it was the first time George had ever heat treated this stuff, and I think it'll work good for its intent as a slicing tool. If it can be backed down a degree and you want yours done, you know, if you and George can work out, you know, if I need to bake it in the oven again or whatever and you want that done, I'll be more than happy to do it. If not, just let me know, and what I'm probably going to do then is go ahead and edge yours up, put a handle on it, and make a little Kydex sheath that I can ship it safely in. And I'm certainly gonna finish this one up and then carry it and start using it to see if it'll break or not. But they're definitely thin. The back is come on, work. There we go. Let's see, in inches, it is come on, 0.16, and what is that in fractions? 5/32. So, and I guess you guys speak millimeters up there. What's that, about 4 or 5 mil? About 4.5 mil at the back. And down at the edge, you're looking right behind the edge is 0.60. Down a little further, 0.48. 1. Let me lock this down again. And I'm going to go to 1 millimeter as close as I can get it. Lock that down. There's 1 millimeter at the back. And up at the front, and then way up at the front. So about like so. So anyway, I kind of tickle with it. I like it so far. Just let me know your thoughts, and if you want yours as hard as this one, I'm going to go ahead and put an edge on it. And what I'm doing with these are being stone sharpened. They're flat, and then the micro bevel is being put on with sandpaper on a block, stropping motion this way, and I'm doing just the micro edge on that. All the rest of the edge is the perfectly flat stone sharpened edge, and it seems to be a real good combination. It cuts everything good so far. So just let me know what you guys think, and I think they'll be fun to play with. What I'm curious to see is just how long they, you know, how many cuts they'll do it at this hardness, if they're going to be fragile on something like rope. I don't have any here to cut. I'm going to try to go up tomorrow and get some from Home Depot, and see what that does to it. I'll try to get some tomorrow and cut it on a cutting board and just see how it goes. But if it'll hold up to that, I'm going to go ahead and put the handles on both of them, and we'll go from there. So let me know what you think, and we'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy. Have a good one.